I went to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and I was going to study painting. In high school, I was like the star artist of my little high school. So I got accepted at the School of the Art Institute. I went there thinking, oh, I'll be, a painter, an illustrator, and a star artist. And suddenly I was like, oh my God, there are 1,000 people better than me. It was humbling.
Well, I mean, it wasn't more, I fell in love with Columbia and their whole process, having all these theater students and just learning more about Columbia and reading about some of the teachers. I really like comedy more than like drama and stuff like that. And like one of my teachers is the head of the Chicago Sketch Comedy Festival. There's so many people that came out of Second City that worked at Columbia. And the city itself just really intrigued me way more than New York. I mean, you walk down a New York street and you have a pile of trash on the sidewalks, where here you walk and you have flower beds planted. And it's way cleaner of a city.
Well, New York was too close, honestly. I kind of want to end up in LA, but for me, I needed to take that first step, and Chicago was just the perfect place to go. Came to visit in the summer, fell in love with the city, found out that they have a lot of comedy opportunities here, and they've got Tribeca and they've got Columbia. So, I mean, it's a great place to just meet other students and try to network.
That first extra, it was a show called, I don't know, it had John Leguizamo in it, and he was like robbing a bank in Pittsburgh. And it was like Point something or something like that, but it was on Spike Network. It was a mini series. And I got cast as a cop. Like my best friend was working, and he had to just sit in his car all day, and they're like, you can be a cop. And then I got like, the assistant director came up to me and was like, you're the rookie cop on the force. And he gave me like motivation and stuff, and it was the first time that, anyone that worked in the industry was like telling me to do stuff, and not my little town drama club. So it was a cool experience to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I get to do this, and there's camera and there's explosions going on. So that was my first real taste of any kind of professional production.
Finally got Chicago.
It's still not out yet. Really? It's a stupid independent project. It's this stupid movie. Like, it may be something one day, so I'm not gonna say what it is. But I played a 90-year-old crack addict who looked like he was 18. It was the weirdest concept. It was so strange. But yeah, the thing is, we filmed it when I first got here in 2009. It's 2014 now, and they're still not done like post on it yet. And she like has this theory of it being like the next cult movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We'll see.
Graduated from college, I had some success. I had written and directed a short film that was in a bunch of film festivals and won some awards. And when I was a senior in college, I won a Student Emmy Award for a music video I made. And I couldn't get arrested. I couldn't get hired at all. But I kept at it, and I got a job, and I went home every night and I wrote a script. And 2.5 years later, I felt the script was good enough to show people. A year and a half after that, I had raised enough money to get it into production. So I made this feature that got seen by people, and I sort of was off and running from there.
Bob was a TV show called The Beast with Patrick Swayze. When was that? Around 2007. I had worked on smaller things, but never like a big, I think it was Sony. It was for Sony Television. It was on cable. And I was really green coming into it. I didn't know really anything. But I worked with a lot of people that were kind of old timers in it. So they were telling me a lot about, especially how the industry had changed. Like they even said on feature films and television shows, it used to be the art department that made most of the creative decisions. Now it's the accounting department.
It says a lot. Like, they've given tax breaks for a while.
The industry's not expanding out of LA. Productions can expand out of LA, and it goes to tax dollars.
Where films are made in the United States, it depends on where the largest tax credit is,
But then the past couple of years I think we had 6 TV shows filmed here last year, and that's unheard of. In Chicago, when I first came here in 2007, there was nothing being filmed here. It was super expensive to film here. And I remember I give tours, and I remember always talking about that on my tour that the movie Chicago was filmed in Toronto because it was just too expensive to film here.
Big show comes to town. I know working in an art department, I'm not going to be a production designer or art director. Those people come from LA, New York, or Europe. I'll be art department coordinator or assistant or this or that, or work on a crew. It's the same if you're in a camera department. The DP and director and everybody else, the head positions are from out of town. Chicago's the crew town, the filler.
Sometimes they'll have, some, like a lot of ADs here in the city on the bigger productions, some of them are from Chicago. I've seen that, but the directors mostly come from LA, and a lot of the makeup artists and hair people, some of them are from Chicago, but the higher ups that lead the teams are all from LA.
Chicago's not LA, and Chicago's not New York, that's for sure. But the more and more projects are being filmed here. I mean, certainly television is all over Chicago right now. And the last couple of years, Chicago and the state of Illinois have had a great couple of years in terms of bringing big films and TV shows to Illinois. But the industry is not here. And if you want to be part of the industry, you go where the industry is.
One bit of advice, just for the students that are coming into the workforce, what would that be?
Keep at it. The writer Kenneth Lonergan, I met him a year ago, and Kenneth Lonergan, he wrote Gangs of New York, was nominated for Oscar for Gangs of New York, wrote a brilliant film that very few people saw called Margaret. He said, I've had a bunch of students with me, said he doesn't know anyone who has kept up the film business for 10 years that doesn't have a job. And that makes perfect sense. I mean, obviously, if you keep at it, you're working. If you don't keep at it, you're not working.